There is a place on Earth where life explodes with such violence and abundance that it defies logic. A forest so vast, it creates its own weather. A river so large, it pushes the ocean back for 100 miles. We call it the lungs of the world. But to those who step into its shadows, it feels more like the stomach. Because here, everything is eating or being eaten. Welcome to the Amazon. Spanning 7 million square kilometers across 9 nations. This is the greatest biological reservoir on the planet. It holds 20% of the world's fresh water and 10% of all known species. But do not be fooled by the postcards of colorful macaws and pink dolphins. The Amazon is a war zone. It is a realm of shadows and deceit. The canopy above blocks out 95% of the sunlight, creating a twilight world on the forest floor where plants strangle each other for a single ray of sun. But the true terror lies below the surface. The Amazon River is not like the clear streams of the mountains or the blue oceans of the coast. It is opaque. It is a river of darkness. The water is thick with silt, stained brown by tannins from decaying leaves, turning it into a black tea that hides everything. You can be standing waist-deep in the water and not see your own feet. And you certainly won't see what is swimming toward you. In this underwater jungle, vision is useless. The predators here have evolved to hunt without sight. They sense electricity. They feel pressure waves. They smell blood in parts per billion. They are monsters of the murk, creatures that have remained unchanged since the age of giant sloths and saber-toothed cats. In this documentary, we will descend into the humid darkness. We will drift down the Blackwater tributaries where the silence is heavy and the water is still. We will meet the titans that rule this submerged kingdom. We will face the River King, a black-armored leviathan that swallows deer whole and makes the water dance with a roar. We will be embraced by the constrictor, a serpent of nightmare proportions that crushes the life out of its prey before swallowing it. We will tremble before the living battery, a creature that can stop a human heart with a shock generated from its own flesh. We will witness the swarm, a frenzy of teeth that can strip a carcass to the bone in minutes. And we will stalk the shadows with the skull crusher, the only cat on Earth that prefers to kill by piercing the brain. Forget the laws of civilization. Here, there is only one law: eat or be eaten. Welcome to the green hell. Welcome to the Amazon. Our journey into the darkness begins in the flooded forests of the Igapo and the slow-moving Oxbow lakes. Here, the water is stagnant, dark, and warm. It is the perfect hunting ground for the largest predator in the entire Amazon basin. He is the apex. He is the king. He is the black caiman. While the famous green anaconda gets the movie deals, the black caiman, Melanosuchus niger, is the true ruler of these waters. He is a giant, reaching lengths of up to 6 meters and weighing nearly half a ton. He is significantly larger than the American alligator and rivals the massive Nile crocodile in bulk. But unlike his cousins, who bask in the open sun, this beast is built for the shadows. His evolutionary genius lies in his color. As his name suggests, he is almost entirely black. This is not a fashion statement. It is tactical camouflage. In the tannin-stained, tea-colored waters of the Amazon night, he is invisible. He is a shadow within a shadow. This dark pigmentation also serves a thermal purpose. It allows him to absorb heat rapidly during the brief moments he surfaces, fueling his cold-blooded metabolism so he can hunt longer in the cooling night air. The black caiman is a generalist, which means he eats whatever he wants. Piranhas, catfish, birds, turtles, and capybaras are snacks, but a full-grown male has the power to take down tapirs, wild boars, and even giant otters. He is the only predator in the Amazon capable of killing a jaguar in the water. It is a clash of titans, but in the deep water, the caiman has the advantage of home turf. His head is immense, broader and heavier than that of other crocodilians. His eyes are large, adapted for low-light vision, with a reflective layer behind the retina called the tapetum lucidum. This acts like a mirror, bouncing light back through the eye to increase sensitivity. This is why, when you shine a torch on the river at night, the water looks like a starry sky. It is the reflection of hundreds of predators watching you. But he doesn't need to see you to kill you. Like the saltwater crocodile, the black caiman has pressure sensors along his jawline. But in the muddy, zero-visibility water of the Amazon, these sensors are his primary guidance system. He can feel the disturbance of a fish swimming 5 meters away. He can detect the vibration of a thirsty deer stepping into the shallows. He waits, submerged, silent as a log, until the prey is within striking range. The strike is a violent explosion of water. The black caiman doesn't just bite, he crushes. His teeth are not razor-sharp like a shark's. They are conical spikes designed to grip and hold. Once he locks down with thousands of pounds of pressure, escape is physics-defying. He drags the victim into the deep water, rolling to disorient and drown them. Yet this monster has a surprisingly complex social life. During the dry season, as water levels drop, hundreds of caimans are forced into shrinking pools. Instead of tearing each other apart, they form a hierarchy. The largest males claim the best spots, and a tense truce is observed. They communicate with a sound that defies belief. It is called water dancing. The male fills his lungs and contracts his torso muscles to produce a low-frequency infrasound rumble far below the range of human hearing. This sound is so powerful that it causes the water on his back to vibrate and fizz, leaping into the air like water on a hot skillet. It is a signal of dominance that travels for miles underwater, telling every other creature in the lake, "I am here. I am the biggest. Stay away." For decades, the black caiman was hunted to the brink of extinction for his valuable skin. The rivers fell silent. The piranha populations exploded without their natural predator. The ecosystem became unbalanced. But after years of protection, the king has returned. He has reclaimed his throne. Today, the black caiman patrols the waterways once again, a dark sentinel, ensuring that the Amazon remains wild, dangerous, and ruled by the ancient laws of the tooth and the scale. Deep within the tangled swamps and slow-moving backwaters of the Amazon, there exists a legend that terrified the first explorers and continues to haunt the nightmares of the locals. It is not a monster of fantasy. It is a monster of physics. It is the heaviest snake in the world, the green anaconda, Eunectes marinus. While the reticulated python of Asia may be longer, the green anaconda is the undisputed champion of mass. A fully grown female, and the females are the true giants here, can weigh over 250 kilograms and measure nearly 9 meters in length. Her girth is thicker than a telephone pole. She is a submarine of pure muscle. On land, her immense weight makes her slow and cumbersome, a beached whale of a reptile. But in the water, gravity releases its grip. She becomes weightless. She becomes a ghost. The Amazon is her perfect hunting ground because she is designed for the murk. Her eyes and nostrils are positioned on the very top of her head, allowing her to submerge her entire body while keeping a low profile just above the waterline. She can watch the riverbank while remaining invisible to the deer, capybaras, and caimans that come to drink. She is a biological periscope. Her hunting strategy is one of patience and explosive power. She does not chase, she waits. She can hold her breath for 10 minutes, lying motionless in the shallows. When a victim comes within striking range, she launches herself with the speed of a boxer's jab. Her mouth is filled with rows of backward curving teeth that act like fish hooks. Once they latch onto flesh, there is no pulling away. But the bite is not the weapon. The bite is just the anchor. The true horror begins with the coil. In seconds, she wraps her massive body around the prey. This is not about crushing bones. That is a myth. The anaconda is far more sophisticated. She is a master of circulatory arrest. Every time the prey exhales, she tightens her grip. She squeezes with enough pressure to stop the blood from flowing back to the heart. The victim does not die from broken ribs. They die from cardiac arrest and suffocation. It is a hug that squeezes the life out of you, silence in the chaotic noise of the jungle. Once the heart stops, the impossible task of consumption begins. The anaconda does not chew. She must swallow her meal whole. Her jaws are connected by elastic ligaments that allow them to unhinge and stretch wide enough to consume a jaguar or a caiman. She walks her mouth over the victim, engulfing them inch by inch. Her trachea or windpipe can be pushed out of her mouth like a snorkel so she doesn't suffocate, while her throat is blocked by a massive carcass. Digestion is a slow, heavy process. After a large meal, she may not need to eat again for months. Lying dormant in the sun, while her stomach acid dissolves bone and hoof, her breeding habits are the stuff of horror films. During the mating season, multiple smaller males will track a giant female, forming a breeding ball. Up to a dozen snakes writhe together in a knotted mass for weeks. But it is a dangerous game for the suitors. The female is often cannibalistic. After mating, she may decide that her smaller partner is the perfect post-mating snack to nourish her developing young. In the green hell, nothing goes to waste, not even a lover. The green anaconda is the ultimate symbol of the Amazon's power. She is the river incarnate, fluid, heavy, silent, and capable of swallowing you whole. In the water, she has no equal. If you see the head, respect the distance. If you feel the coil, it is already over. In the darkest, muddiest corners of the Amazon basin, where sunlight never penetrates and vision is useless, evolution has created a creature that does not need to see. It feels. It does not need teeth to kill. It carries a weapon that mankind only harnessed in the last 2 centuries. Electricity. This is the electric eel, Electrophorus electricus. First, a correction. It is not an eel. It is a knife fish, more closely related to catfish than to the eels of the ocean. But its biology is unique on this planet. It is a swimming battery. 80% of its 2-meter-long body is packed with specialized cells called electrocytes. These cells are stacked like the plates in a car battery. When the creature gives the command, thousands of these cells discharge simultaneously. The result is a shock of up to 860 volts and 1 ampere of current. To put that in perspective, a standard wall socket in the US delivers 120 volts. A taser delivers 50,000 volts, but with very low amperage. The electric eel delivers enough raw power to knock out a horse, stop a human heart, or light up a Christmas tree. It is the most powerful bioelectric generator on Earth. But it is not just a brute force weapon. It is a high-tech sensory system. In the murky water, where eyes are useless, the eel emits a constant, low-voltage pulse. This creates an electric field around its body. Whatever enters this field, a fish, a rock, a log, distorts the signal. The eel reads these distortions with special receptors on its skin. It is electrolocation, a radar system that allows it to build a 3D map of its surroundings in total darkness. It can see the beating heart of a fish hiding in the mud. When it hunts, it switches from radar to weapon mode. It has 2 types of attack. First, the doublet. It fires 2 rapid high-voltage pulses. This causes the muscles of any nearby prey to convulse uncontrollably. It's a remote control for the nervous system of its victim. The prey reveals its location with a twitch. Once the target is acquired, the eel unleashes the full volley. The shock essentially freezes the prey. The fish goes rigid, paralyzed by the electricity, and the eel simply sucks it into its mouth. It is a clean, silent kill. No struggle, no blood, just a sudden stop. But the electric eel is not just dangerous in the water. It can attack the air. When threatened by a predator on land or in shallow water, like a jaguar or a curious fisherman, the eel will leap out of the water, pressing its chin against the intruder. This creates a direct circuit, delivering the shock directly to the threat's chest, bypassing the resistance of the water. As the water level drops in the dry season, trapped eels become desperate and aggressive, turning small pools into electrified traps. Physiologically, it is a survivor. It is an obligate air breather. The oxygen in the muddy Amazon water is so low that the eel must surface every 10 minutes to gulp air into its highly vascularized mouth, which acts as a lung. If you deny it access to the surface, it will drown. In the river of darkness, the electric eel is the king of the invisible. It reminds us that in the Amazon, what you cannot see can definitely kill you. It turns the water itself into a weapon, a conducting medium of death. You don't need to be bitten. You don't need to be constricted. You just need to be close. If the anaconda is the nightmare of being crushed, and the eel is the fear of the invisible strike, our next subject represents a different kind of terror. The terror of numbers, the fear of being eaten alive, piece by tiny piece, by 1,000 mouths. Meet the red-bellied piranha, Pygocentris natareri, the swarm. Individually, a piranha is small, rarely growing larger than a dinner plate. It looks almost harmless, with its shimmering silver scales and red underbelly. But open its mouth, and you see the machinery of a perfect cutter. Its jaw is underslung, jutting forward like a bulldog's. It is lined with a single row of triangular teeth that are not just sharp, they are razor-edged. These teeth are interlocking, When the piranha closes its mouth, the top teeth fit perfectly between the bottom teeth, creating a continuous cutting edge. It functions exactly like a pair of surgical scissors. There is no gap. Whatever is caught between them, flesh, tendon, bone, is sheared off cleanly. A piranha doesn't chew, it clips. It takes a mouthful of meat the size of a coin and swallows it instantly, making room for the next bite. But the true horror lies in their behavior. Piranhas are not solitary hunters. They are a collective intelligence. They travel in schools of 20, 30, or even hundreds. In the murky waters of the Amazon, they navigate by sound and smell. They can detect a drop of blood in 200 liters of water. They can hear the low-frequency vibration of a wounded animal splashing on the surface from hundreds of meters away. When the signal is given, the school enters a state of feeding frenzy. This is a chaotic, violent event where the water seems to boil. In this state, the fish lose all fear. They bite everything that moves, including each other. The water turns opaque with blood and debris. A school of red-bellied piranhas can strip a 50-kilogram capybara to a clean white skeleton in under 5 minutes. However, let's separate the Hollywood myth from the Amazonian reality. Piranhas are not mindless killing machines that attack anything that enters the water. In fact, for most of the year, they are scavengers and seed eaters. They are the sanitary workers of the river, cleaning up dead carcasses that would otherwise rot and poison the water. Locals swim in piranha-infested waters every day without incident. The danger comes with the seasons. When the dry season hits and the river levels drop, trapping thousands of piranhas in shrinking lagoons, the food runs out. The water becomes deoxygenated and hot. Starvation sets in. This is when the swarm becomes a reality. In these isolated pools, anything that falls in, a bird falling from a nest, a sick cow, or a human hand trailing from a canoe, triggers an immediate, desperate response. The bite of a red-bellied piranha is arguably the strongest of any bony fish relative to its size. It generates a bite force of 70 pounds per square inch at the tip of the tooth. It can snap through the finger bone of a human or the toe of a jaguar. In the river of darkness, they are the constant nibbling reminder that you are made of meat. They don't need to kill you to hurt you. They just need to take one bite, and then another, and then another, until there is nothing left but the silence of the bones settling in the mud. Finally, we come to the apex, the ruler of the Amazon. In the African savanna, the lion is king, but he hates the water. In India, the tiger swims to cool off, but in the flooded forests of South America, there is a cat that has evolved to be as aquatic as an otter and as lethal as a shark. This is the jaguar, Panthera onca, the skull crusher. The jaguar is the third largest cat in the world, but pound for pound, it is the strongest. It is built like a bulldog, stocky, muscular, with a deep chest and short, powerful legs. It is not built for speed. It is built for power. It is the only big cat that willingly hunts in the water. It dives to the bottom of rivers to catch fish. It swims for miles across open lakes. It is a creature of two worlds, the land and the river, and it dominates both. But what truly separates the jaguar from every other feline on Earth is its killing technique. Lions, tigers, and leopards kill by suffocation. They bite the throat and hold on until the prey stops breathing. The jaguar finds this inefficient. Over millions of years of hunting armored reptiles like turtles, armadillos, and caimans, the jaguar evolved a different strategy. It does not go for the throat, it goes for the brain. The jaguar possesses the strongest bite force of all big cats relative to its size, nearly 2,000 pounds per square inch. Its canine teeth are thicker and shorter than a tiger's, designed not to slash, but to puncture. When a jaguar attacks, it leaps onto the back of its prey and drives its teeth directly through the temporal bones of the skull. The canines pierce the brain case, entering the brain and causing instant death. It effectively lobotomizes its victim. This immense jaw strength allows it to crack open the shells of river turtles as if they were walnuts. It allows it to crunch through the armored neck of a black caiman. Yes, the jaguar hunts the hunters. It is the only predator in the Amazon that actively targets the top of the food chain. A common sight in the Pantanal and the Amazon basin is a jaguar stalking a caiman basking on a sandbank. The cat moves with absolute silence, then explodes from the cover of the grass. It dives into the water, wrestling the reptile in its own element. It bites through the caiman's skull, severing the central nervous system, and then drags the 300-pound carcass up a steep, muddy bank as if it weighed nothing. The jaguar is a solitary ghost. Each individual patrols a vast territory of rainforest and riverbank. They are elusive, blending into the dappled light of the jungle floor with their rosette patterns. To the indigenous people of the Amazon, the jaguar is a god. It is the spirit of the forest, the bridge between the living and the dead. In the river of darkness, where the anaconda squeezes, the eel shocks, the caiman drowns, and the piranha strips, the jaguar simply crushes. It is the ultimate predator because it has no rules. It swims, it climbs, it stalks, and it kills with a single bite. It is the beautiful, golden death that watches from the riverbank, waiting for a ripple in the water. As the light fades from the canopy and the green hell descends into true darkness, the river comes alive. The Amazon is not a paradise. It is a battlefield. It is a place where evolution has been pushed to its absolute limit, creating creatures that defy our nightmares. We have drifted through the murk with the black caiman, the king that sees in the dark and dances with infrasound. We have felt the crushing weight of the green anaconda, the constrictor that turns the river into a trap. We have been shocked by the electric eel, the living battery that hunts with invisible lightning. We have witnessed the frenzy of the red-bellied piranha, the swarm that cleans the bones of the dead. And we have bowed before the jaguar, the golden assassin that crushes skulls and rules both land and water. These are the titans of the Amazon. They are the guardians of the river of darkness. They remind us that nature is not kind, it is hungry. And in the greatest jungle on earth, you are never truly alone. If this journey into the depths of the rainforest has terrified and fascinated you, click the like button to help us survive the night. Subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss an expedition into the wild.